Courtroom secrets, savage judge reactions, and legal drama they don't show on TV. Welcome to the Legal Watch. This is where you get the real stories, the facts that matter, and the moments that shake the courtroom. If you're into intense legal cases, strict judges, and shocking courtroom twists, hit subscribe and become part of the Legal Watch. Now, let's get into today's case.
Ms. Hurtado and her husband, Mr. Diaz, are tenants at the Meadowbrook apartment complex. That is one of the housing authority of the city of Austin's subsidized low-income housing apartments. She's been a resident there for quite some time, I believe over 5 years. In that time frame, she has been under eviction status for non-payment of rent at least 8 times, 3 of which have gone to trial, this being the third one. At the trial for the most recent eviction last year, an eviction judgment was entered into against her for non-payment of rent, and I believe there may have been some like damage to the unit or some, other minor lease violations as well. After the eviction judgment was entered, she did get legal counsel from legal aid, and they reached out to us to essentially try to work with us to avoid eviction. And what we landed on was this last chance agreement that we negotiated at arm's length. I spent a lot of time with Ms. Hurtado directly, as well as Nancy Isa Juarez and Shauna Stewart, working with her to understand what this agreement meant, to understand that the non-payment of rent was a huge problem, and why it was a problem and how we needed to fix it going forward. We negotiated this agreement for multiple months. As part of that agreement, we agreed to accept over $9,000 from El Buen for rental assistance that would cover both the back rent that had been owed and the damages to a unit that they were currently living in. And it would also leave her with about a $6,000 credit to kind of help hit the reset button. We also agreed to move her to a brand new apartment. As the other one had been damaged, there was a lot of interior problems with it, and we weren't going to start blaming people, but we were like, we're going to completely set hit the reset. We're going to move you to a brand new apartment. We're going to erase all of your debt, and you're going to have a pretty comfortable cushion moving forward. But once it runs out, you are back being responsible for paying rent. And if you do not, we will evict you. We shortened the notice periods, and Ms. Hurtado also waived her right to appeal, and we can seek immediate possession without paying a bond should the court rule in our favor here today. And I have those provisions, but they're all in Exhibit F of that settlement agreement. The probationary agreement portion being the most important, governing why we're seeking eviction today. So I believe this agreement was entered into sometime in May. We got all of the paperwork issues fixed. We got her pet deposit squared away. We moved her into a brand new unit, which had been recently refurbished. And that was about 6 months or so ago. And as time went on, her rent became due each month. She did not pay, but that's okay. She had this cushion. And the balance started to run low. Her rent was due November of 2025. That was the first time she was going to have to pay rent. And she did not. And she was aware that that was the deadline. She was aware of the deadline back when we signed this agreement back in May. She did not pay rent. So that is when we issued our 30-day notice of termination of the lease, which stated that if she was not out in 30 days, we would proceed with filing an eviction. And then we issued our 3-day notice to vacate on December 8th, all the while trying to work with her to explain to her that she needed to come up with the money. However, that did not happen. And so that's why we're here today. And at this date, I believe the back rent is $692.32 what is owed currently today.
Say that again, 692 and 36?
32 cents, yes.
32 cents. What is the monthly rent?
It is 217 as of today. When we entered into the lease originally, it was 210, but it's 217 due to some recertifications. That's the tenant's responsibility. The government assistant portion is 626.
All right, so that's what I need is the full rent and then what the responsibility is. So we said 626 plus 217 comes out to 843. So the monthly rent is 843, is that correct?
Yes, I believe that's correct. And the ledger, Your Honor, in case you need it, that shows where all these credits and charges all went, is attached as Exhibit G to our petition as well.
No, all I need is basically she did not pay rent in November and she did not pay rent now in, sorry, she did not pay rent. Was it November?
November, December, and now
Okay,
January.
so the 692 represents, it seems like that's too much. Let me see here. 217 divided by 31 times 5, 35 plus 17 plus 217. It looks like her past due rent prorated through today is 469.
Oh, you're right, Your Honor. I'm giving you 217 for all of January. So that her rent went from 210 to 217 on November 1st, but she had some money left over on that cushion.
So how much credit does she have in November?
She owed $210.32 in November, so she had a $16 credit, roughly.
So tell me exactly the credit that she had.
Yes, so she owed 201 minus $15.68 was the credit, was the cushion that she had.
So minus 15.68.
Yes,
So that's the credit. So her balance then is 453.32. That is November minus the credit, all of December, and 5 days in January.
I will trust your math on that, Your Honor. Yes, but that looks right to me. Yes.
All I did was take the full amount of November, December, added the 5 days in January, and then subtracted the 1532 or so, I think is what you said.
Yes.
Or 1560 something. And so it came out to 453.32. So that is the past due rent.
Yes, that's what I got, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. You indicated the notice was delivered, the first notice, the first 30-day notice was done by certified mail. Is that correct?
Certified mail as well as hand delivery to the unit by property staff.
Okay. All right. So it says via hand delivery and U.S. mail, not certified mail, just U.S. mail.
We do both. We do hand delivery, certified, and U.S. mail.
But not certified, just U.S. mail. I just wanted to clarify, that's all.
I believe we do certified, Your Honor, and U.S. We do it two ways.
Because I'm looking at the notice and it just says via hand delivery and U.S. mail.
Okay. Well, then if
I
that's
don't see a certified statement on here. That could be I got to go through all 17.
First class mail, it may just be no. You don't have to go through all. But yes, it was both mailed and delivered to her personally.
Okay. All right. Okay. And then you gave a second notice in December.
Yes.
And that was the 3-day notice. That's under Exhibit E.
Yes.
All right. And I'm looking at that one. Okay. All right. Did you need to call any witnesses or you want to wait until after?
I will wait until after unless there is testimony that you believe that you need further clarification on at this point.
Generally, what I need is just simply the notice is proper and the payments or credits and or what is past due and owed.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's it. All right. All right, Ms. Hurtado.
Yes, sir.
Are there any other payments that you've made or any credits that you
Yes,
believe you're
there
entitled
is,
to?
absolutely. I've made 2 payments that my attorney that I'm doing, I did a grievance on him because I kind of feel
Well, I don't
like,
need to know about the grievance on the attorney. I just
yes,
need to
I've
know
made
what
2
payments.
payments.
Show me
right here.
the payment. This is a ledger,
Yeah, that's what,
but I need to see the actual, like, did you write a check? Did you pay
yeah,
cash?
the receipts and.
So where are the receipts?
Receipts, I'm just going by her ledger because they're in there, but they were applied to damages that really are not my damages. They just have paid.
We're not talking about the damages right now, so I don't need to know about those. What I know is that what the attorney indicated was that you had a credit,
Right.
a considerable amount of credit last year.
Sure, did 6,000, but it,
Well, that's what she
there's
said.
nothing.
She said it was $6,000.
Left. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There was nothing left.
Ma'am,
Yes, sir.
there was $6,000 of credit that was applied for the entire year of 2025 because you didn't make any payments.
No.
Ma'am, hold on. And then starting November 1st is when you're supposed to start making the payments. There was a credit of about $15 and some change still left in November. I gave you that credit. She told me the amount. Okay. So what I need to know is that since November 1st, today, up until today, how many payments have you made?
Not since November 1st.
Okay, that's what I'm looking for. She's already given you the credits before that.
No, can I please speak to those?
Sure.
When I started and I applied for El Buenos Samaritan, it was a $6,000 grant that I was supposed to, I started out with owing $700.
Okay, so let me step back a second. You said it
My
was
rent is 201.
ma'am. So my understanding from what the attorney spoke about earlier is that you got about $9,000.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, and then 6,000 was accounted going forward. Well, they're not going to give it to you. They gave it to
No,
them.
but they put it into the unit that I was in that they failed to renovate. So they just pretty much kept it all, and it's all right here.
Ma'am, did you get a new unit?
It was still as bad as the old one.
Okay.
And now they,
You were moved into a new unit, though,
yeah,
right?
because of El Bueno community, what they paid, they did nothing what they asked them to do. You know, they gave them 9,000 to prevent eviction, give me three months rent of 200. My rent is 201.
It's 217 starting
Right,
November.
17. I paid my rent June and July because my attorney said, just pay it to be backed up, you know, so you'll have it. So when I went to claim it on November, they're like, oh, well, you had other charges. And pretty much it's gone on the old unit. And maintenance that they were supposed to do already, that I've been through tenant council for, I'm going back and forth. I even got them Catholic Charities last year.
Who gave
$1,700.
you, this ledger is
That's from
from,
them.
that's from them?
Yeah.
Right, because I see on here where it says Housing Authority, it says it on there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this right here,
Okay, so ma'am, hold on. I see on here where they gave you the $6,000 credit.
but it all went back on damages that I
Right.
didn't do any damages to that unit.
Well, I'm not concerned about who did the damages. All I know is that you have an agreement in place that says that some of these payments are going towards those damages. So it doesn't matter to me who made them
But-
if the payment was to cover those damage.
But
You,
I
you
didn't
understand
have
my
that.
position?
Yes, sir.
Okay, my job is not to determine what happened prior to today, right?
Yes.
Unless it directly affects how these payments are done. But according to the agreement, the settlement agreement and the probationary period agreement, it delineates that there's rent payments and that there are charges that are being done for damages, and the attorney spoke to that,
$1,000.
ma'am.
Yes, sir.
The attorney spoke to that, and so you have handed me their ledger. And in their ledger, you're saying that you're entitled to other payments, but you're not showing me what payments that you've made besides the ones they've given you credit for.
I made a June and July, and it's in there.
Okay, I'm looking for June,
It's
and it
June.
says there's a check payment. Well, there's a $6,000 payment in here. There's also the $3,390, which is the 9,000 and change.
Right.
Okay.
That's for my.
Then I
one.
see a check scan payment for $130 that was
That's
done in
how I made
July.
that one.
Okay, and they acknowledge that.
Right.
And then I see a $201
That's
payment,
my other rent.
which was in August
That was,
7th.
Your Honor, that was actually the money that Ms. Hurtado had been paying into the registry from her prior.
That should have been accredited to the account.
So Miss Aldridge, what was that credited towards?
It was credited to her account. The numbers there on the right in that middle column are credits. So as you can see, at the time we received that August payment, she had a balance of $234, and after we received it, she had a balance or a cushion, I guess, of
You had a
$435.
credit, right? So you
Credit.
were given the credit.
But the additional payments that I made weren't credited.
Well, but you're telling me these payments, the $130 payment, you're
Right.
telling me the $201 payment, and I'm looking at the ledger and you're getting that credit. It says you have credit for a year.
For a year?
Well, it's not for a year. It was done on,
It was just not.
well, the credit, man,
Yes, sir.
there's nothing to argue about here. You're telling me you made the payments and they acknowledge you made the payments. They gave you the credit for it. My question to you is, are there any payments that you've made that you did not get credit for since November?
No, sir.
Okay, that was my question.
Trying to, like, I don't understand any of this. I don't understand why my HUD thing said zero, like, they already had me evicted. I'm supposed to move out tomorrow.
So, okay, so are you moving out tomorrow?
No,
Why not?
because I don't, like, I don't want to move out, and I've been trying to work with them. Like, I got them, this is not what I, agreed for. I've been trying to get a hold of Miss Isa. I never can talk to her. I never can meet with her. And I
All right. Other than the credits that you're claiming, which were done in July and August, which you've been credited, any other payments or anything else that you wish to address the court with?
No, I'm just like very confused about all this. I don't understand how, like I have I don't want to seem like I'm like, I mean, they have their own they have their own contract to go to with Edwin Community, and what they told them those payments was supposed to go to, and it was applied to
Well,
maintenance
but
charges.
You're a party to that agreement.
Yeah, exactly, but I was counting on my attorney, but my attorney is over there chilling with them and making like, I don't know, sir, I don't want to get into
What is your attorney's name?
Mr. Alex Stam, but he moved.
Okay, I don't see him on there.
No, he's moved.
Okay. All right, Ms. Aldridge, do you have any questions for Ms. Whiptub?
I do not have any questions for Ms. Hurtado. I think Your Honor understands that she has not paid rent since November, and the agreement says, and the lease says that you have to do that. And so possession at this time is proper for plaintiff.
All right, I find that the monthly rent is $843, that the landlord's portion of that is $217, and the government subsidy is $626. I find that the past due rent prorated through today is $453.32. There is an agreement in place, so I acknowledge, or at least take notice that the 30-day notice requirement under the CARES Act has been met, and any additional requirements that the plaintiff is subject to has been met under contract. And so that the notice provisions are all proper. As a result, I'm going to find in favor of the plaintiff. I'm going to grant possession and a judgment in the amount of $453.32. The appeal bond will be set at $1,700. You do have several options to appeal this case. You can step outside and the clerk will give you the paperwork if you're requesting that.
I will.
And how to file that appeal.
Your Honor, she has waived her right to appeal.
Oh, I'm sorry,
her
has she?
agreement, and we would request an immediate
Not
possession.
waived anything.
One moment.
If you would like,
You did say that, and so let me go back, and if you can tell me real quick.
Did they even mention like?
It's on page 8 of the PDF for Exhibit F, which is also page 7 of the probationary agreement. But I'm where it
Well,
says
page 7 or page 7 is, you're talking about.
it's on page 8
exhibit.
of the PDF with the slip sheet and everything, but it's page 7 of the probate of the document, because there
Well,
was
the probation agreement
it's the
is
second page of the
only 3
probation
pages.
agreement. Yeah, it's the second page of the probationary agreement, but it has a 6.
Okay, so it says probationary period,
Yes.
and is it above or below that?
It
Waiver
is,
of appeal. There it is, under
yes,
C.
it's 1C.
1C, it says waiver of appeal in an eviction suit based in whole or in part on non-payment of rent. Tenants waive their right to appeal a judgment entered by a justice court for a trial de novo by the county court at law.
And they haven't brought that.
If a
That
justice court enters a judgment for possession in favor of the landlord in such a suit, tenants agree that landlord may obtain a writ of possession immediately without the need of paying an immediate possession bond. In such circumstance, the landlord may disclose this agreement to the justice court. So that's been done. So you in fact have waived your right to appeal.
No, I was my right.
Well, but that is your attorney that
No,
has indicated that.
I mean, agreements on it with the wall.
Well, and that's between you and him. But
Paragraph
according
10
to-
also has the consultation of counsel, and I agree that these are all done with the accordance of the law provisions as well. This was negotiated at arm's length. We've discussed.
So you have waived the right to appeal. They can seek immediate possession, which means that today that they can file the writ of possession. That would take a day or two, possibly 3 for the court to sign that, depending on when it gets here, when it gets presented. Did you? Yeah, you do have to pay the immediate possession, but well, no, it says that they're waiving that too. That's been waived. Let's see here. It says tenants agree that landlord may obtain a writ of possession immediately under Texas Rule of Civil Procedure without need of paying an immediate possession bond. Yeah, so that also has been waived. So there's not a requirement to post a bond on that. They can seek.
So I can take it to a higher court.
You cannot. No, you have waived that right. Okay. Which means basically is you have 1 to 3 days. I was not involved in that, so I can't tell you that that's what happened. So, all right. Good luck to you, man.
Yes.
Thank you all. You're free to go.
Your Honor, thank you.
Can I have my papers back? Or did you
I
give them?
don't have them. I give them to her.
Thank you.
She'll give you the
Thank you.
judgment and copy of that.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You what?
She's going to email to you the judgment. Okay.
Okay,
All right.
thank
Good
you.
luck.
And what was your name, sir?
It's right there. Rico Levo.
This is an eviction based on violations of the lease. On June 17th, Parker Lane Apartments discovered that the defendant, Rosa Catalan, had been leasing her or subleasing her unit out on a rental site when an individual came into the office and let the office know that they were renting the defendant's unit. This is a violation of paragraph 17 of the lease, which specifically states that the defendant cannot sublet or rent her unit or list any part of her apartment on any short-term rental website. Because they discovered that she was doing this, they gave a lease violation and a no secure was posted on the inside of the main entry door. However, on July 1st, the office received another email from a different individual stating that the defendant had listed the room on Spare Room US, which is essentially an app to rent out apartment complex rooms. The defendant had allowed these individuals to move in and were collecting rent for them, which is again a violation of the same paragraph of the lease, paragraph 17. I also submitted in Exhibit 6, Your Honor, has the listing from Spare Room US and emails from the individuals to the office with text messages between Ms. Catalan and the individuals who are renting the unit on her accepting money from them to rent this unit, and basically letting them know that the apartment complex did not know that they were living there because she had not let anyone know that they were there. Based on this, we posted a 30-day notice to vacate on the inside of the main entry door. Another 3-day notice was posted after this notice period expired, also on the inside of the door. However, we have not received keys and we have no knowledge that she has vacated and believe she is still in possession of the unit. So we are requesting possession, court costs, and attorney's fees of $1,300.
And she's current on her payments on her rent?
Your Honor, she's not current on her payments. However, we didn't add that into the original notice to vacate that was delivered, so we're not seeking that in the eviction process.
What is the monthly rent?
The monthly rent is $1,542.
All right, I find then that Ms. Catalan failed to appear today, even though notice to do so. Her monthly rent is $1,542 that she is seeking, or the plaintiff is seeking possession only in this case based on lease violations. And so I will grant that based on the fact that I find that there are lease violations. Attorney's fees, did you say 750?
I said 1,300, Your Honor.
1,300. And what's the 1,300? What does that come out? Or what is
The
the
1,300 is approximately 5 hours, Your Honor, of work on this, which I believe to be reasonable and necessary. My senior attorney, Corey Rogers, who bills at $350 an hour, did some work on this in the beginning and then passed it off to me, and I bill at $230 an hour.
Okay. I will grant the attorney's fees in amount of $1,300 and the appeal bond will be set at $3,100. All right, that should do it. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
That wraps up today's courtroom breakdown here on the Legal Watch. If you found this video informative, make sure to leave a like. And for more explosive legal cases, don't forget to subscribe. Drop a comment below. Do you agree with the judge's decision or not? We'll see you in the next case. Until then, stay sharp, stay aware. This is the Legal Watch.